What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Oh, welcome to your first time here. Thought I'd take you on my little walk today, and a little walk and talk. It's been a while since I did one of these. It's kind of cool today. I know about 4 days ago I was actually wearing short pants because it's so warm, and now I'm having to put a sweater on and wear pants, and I'm still cold here right now and the wind's blowing. It's been some strange weather kind of back and forth here over the last few days. Supposed to warm up next week. Supposed to have a lot of rain though next week, so just very little sunshine anymore. The sky's always clouded over with clouds or chemtrails or whatever you want to call it. It's like they don't want us to have any sunshine at all, to get any vitamin D, to grow a garden, to be happy, because the sun, you know, and good weather brings happiness. And in my opinion, the powers that be, the evil forces that are in control of this earth, don't want us to be happy, and they would do anything they can to make everyone as miserable as possible, in my opinion. It's amazing to me how many people still refuse to prepare. And I know that, you know, a lot of people can't afford to prepare because of inflation, because of the economy, because of their own personal financial situation right now. However, I'm convinced that the vast majority of those same people wouldn't prepare if they had the resources to prepare. They would go out, they would spend that on frivolous things. They would go to ball games, they would live it up, they'd go buy a new car, a new television, but they wouldn't prepare. And you have also others who are financially able to prepare still yet right now, and they refuse to prepare also, and they think that people who are prepping are lunatics, nut jobs, who are just paranoid freaks. And it is astonishing to me that people still feel that way, still can think that way with everything that's going on. I mean, it should be obvious to anyone with even half of a brain that we're going down a deep, dark path. And it's not going to end well, unfortunately, because there's too many things going on, and something's going to have to pop somewhere soon. Guys, it's like someone has set a minefield in front of us, and we can't go back, we can't go around. We have to go right through that minefield with so many traps set. And when one mine gets detonated and goes off, it's going to set everything else off. And that's pretty much the situation that we're in now. It's like there's this minefield, this land minefield, and we're trying to negotiate around this, and we have the powers that be trying to push us into these different things to get these to go off, because they want it to go off, in my opinion. I mean, it's the only thing that makes any sense. A lot of people will say that they're just incompetent, they don't know what they're doing. It's old Joe, he just got dementia, he don't know anything. We'll elect Trump here in a few months and it'll be okay. And unfortunately, that's not the case, because there's too many things going on to be fixed, in my opinion. We've passed the point of no return, and people still can't see that. They still refuse to prepare. I know I talk to people, and I'm talking about the current situation that we're in. You can see they're like, don't want to hear it, or too dumb to understand it, depending on the person. But still, very few actually prepare. And I'm convinced that a lot of people who actually watch my videos on YouTube aren't preparing. They're watching for entertainment, but as far as actually preparing goes, they're not doing anything much at all, and most, or many probably, aren't doing anything at all whatsoever. And that's sad, because you're going to suffer so many things right now. Like I said, I mean, we have the open southern border, and still people are saying that's nothing to worry about, especially on the left. We got to invite everyone in, we got to be inclusive, we got to be this, that, or something else, because it's the Christian thing to do. We have to help these people because they're in need And it's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. It's not like we're getting, you know, a couple of thousand people through every year. We're getting millions coming through. And if they're even slowed down or impeded in any way, we saw it happen to the Texas National Guard. These peaceful immigrants ran through, violence pushing through. They don't care about authority or the rule of law. That's be obvious right there. I mean, when they're crossing the border illegally, coming through. But those people pushed through, used violence to come through with our military, with our National Guard, our police in Texas. I mean, really? Millions. What could possibly go wrong? And at the same time you have millions coming across the border, you also have wars going on, two major conflicts going on right now. One with Russia and Ukraine, United States and NATO, proxy war against Russia is what that is. We also have in the Middle East, the United States have made a lot of enemies in the Middle East, and the border's wide open. I mean, you know, there's been terror cells come across the border. People who are sympathetic to our enemies, who hate the United States. I'm convinced that most of the people coming across the border right now hate the United States. But that's my opinion. So what could possibly go wrong? Terrorist attacks could go off, you know, any second. Or it could be our own deep state. Have, sponsor, set up, support, do themselves or whatever. Terrorist attacks inside the United States. Because they want chaos. They want destruction. It's obvious because they gain power through chaos. If they can cause enough danger, enough chaos, then they can come in and offer a solution, just like after 9/11. That happened. We know that was an inside job. They came in with the answer, and the answer was the Patriot Act, NDAA, war, 20-year war in Afghanistan, war in Iraq to overthrow Saddam Hussein. And the people wanted, welcomed, begged for the federal government to protect them from any further such attacks that might happen. It was obvious that it was planned if you look into it at all. And what happened there, the United States took full advantage of that, and that's what always happens. They always take a disaster and use it for their own benefit. They gain more power and more control over the population. And the population will actually beg for it and want it to happen, unfortunately. You know, it's just the way that it goes. They want more power, more control over us, so they will allow something to happen, or if they don't allow it to happen, it happens organically, they will definitely use that to their benefit to gain more power and more control over others, because that's what government does. But I said it before, the people running the nation aren't incompetent. They're stupid, but they aren't incompetent. They know exactly what they're doing. And what they're doing is destroying the country on purpose. That's why these wars are happening right now. That's why the border is wide open right now. That's why they're sowing the seeds of hate between males, females, blacks, whites, gay, lesbian, transgender, straight, because they want to weaken, divide and conquer, weaken the population so they can take more control. It's all about control. Now, the war that's going on right now in Ukraine with Russia, between Russia and Ukraine, with the United States and NATO, it's a proxy. They're using Ukraine as a proxy to try to weaken Russia, but it hasn't worked. But Russia isn't going to just go away and say, well, we tried, it's going on now for 2 years, we're going to go ahead and just call it done. We're going to pull back, go back to Russia and let it be. Whatever happens in Ukraine can happen now. We're going to pull back and leave. It's not going to happen. And we also see that the United States and NATO isn't going to let Ukraine fall without putting every resource they have to keep that from happening. That's why we see things like, Macron saying he's going to send forces into Ukraine to directly fight Russia. And if they see that Ukraine is going to fall completely, there's nowhere around it, then the United States and NATO will, in my opinion, go direct warfare with Russia. We also have what's going on right now with Israel. And it's getting cold out here, guys. We also have right now what's going on with Israel and Hamas. And this is one of those touchy subjects people don't want to talk about, because some people see what's actually going on, and other people see what's going on, but they will back Israel no matter what. No matter what Israel does, how many civilians are killed, how many children are killed, how many hospitals are bombed, they will back Israel no matter what, because they wrote it in the Bible, in the Hebrew Bible, in the Old Testament, that you should back Israel, which was them when they were writing the text at the time. Kind of explains that, doesn't it? But anyway, that's going to spread out, because we see now they're trying their best to get the United States in direct warfare with Iran. The United States deep state military industrial complex, they want to be in direct war with Iran, in my opinion. So that's going to pop off, I think, pretty quickly. You're going to see, because of that, gas prices, fuel prices go even higher than they are now. I know they've went up about 25 cents here recently, and that's just a start. When this fully pops off in the Middle East, I mean, it's going to be a lot of change as far as gas prices goes. We're already experiencing inflation, so if those gas prices go up to $6-7 a gallon, which is definitely possible, or even more, everything else is going to go up also, because it takes fuel to ship things. And we saw the bridge in Baltimore that went down. It's going to cost more to ship things now because of that to certain areas. I mean, the cost of living is going to keep going up, and the danger factor of attacks inside the United States, of direct war with Russia and Iran, China, is going to keep going up. The risk, or the possibility and the likelihood, is going to keep going up as time goes on. And something eventually is going to pop off, because we are in this landmine right now trying to walk across this, and it seems like we're being led by a bunch of complete morons, but they're not. It's all on purpose, it's all planned, because they want this to happen. Anyways, guys, I'm going to get off of here and head back towards the house, because it's getting cold here at this wind. I'll talk to you all in the next video. If you like it, give it a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching. If you want to pick more out of here, I'll see you all in the next video, hopefully.